Let's go ahead into this match for now and see who claims 2,000 points, which is a lot, but also 650 euro for first position, 350 for second, 200 for third, and 100 for that last position. So everyone is already a winner. Affi, the biggest winner in my books after winning the Monza Grand Prix tickets.
I agree. I totally agree with that statement. As we do have our map order generated, it will be Hinode to kick things off. Then we'll be heading off onto Canyon. Motegi will be our last trip to the Japanese circuit, right in the middle of that rotation. Wet Plastic on map 4. And to conclude that 5-map rotation will be Agility Dash 2.
Yeah, so this is the map order. Could come important because now we see a map that Granadi would have loved to see as the first map. Hinode will be played, and here we go. Again, format is the following. We have one small warm-up before we're gonna play 4 live rounds. Point repartition is 10, 6, 4, and 3 points. You have to collect points throughout the match. The points are not getting vanished. If you go to the next map, they're still the same. And if you surpass 120 points, you have to win one more round in order to either get first, second, or third, because also now we play for that third position in the grand final, because you get different World Tour points as well as different monetary value in there as well. So good luck to the players. And here we go. First round, Otaaaq for me the clear favorites. Affi and Pako coming from the consolidation final, and Pako qualified alongside with Otaaaq from the winner bracket match.
Yeah, already a big casualty, though, on the drop down to the first ramp at the start of the race. It was Pako that was the unfortunate victim of that little blunder, and will be dropping down to almost a second compared to the top 3 fight, currently led by Otaaaq, with Affi and Pako in hot pursuit, and a much better move back in action from both Pako and Affi compared to Otaaaq at the exit of that roof hit section. So Otaaaq will be following along 3/10 down to 4/10 down compared to the battle for the lead, which is raging, and that's a very unfortunate clip for Otaaaq, and that's going to be game over for him. And good line from Pako, moving ahead of Affi. There, actually, it's Pako going for the risky line, and Affi going for the more conservative traditional line. And you can see that Pako executes the risky line perfectly, gets a bit more speed on the run into the pipe, and will be taking first blood with the first 10-pointer for him with a .884. Affi second, Pako and Otaaaq third and fourth. Otaaaq does reach the finish line. Just a keyword on timings. We do have 30 seconds of warm-up on each map, and you only have 10 seconds after the first player across the line to reach the finish line. If you do not make it in that time limit, no points allowed, and that can be extremely detrimental in cup mode.
Yeah, we have seen that happening to New Prime in one of the lower bracket matches against Pako as well, where Pako went through, of course, but New Prime had a DNF, so it did not finish rounds, and was at 99 points just a couple of rounds after that, or maybe the round after this, I do not know, but he just had to finish. And well, he was in the first in that round where he has gotten up to 99 points, so he didn't close it out there, and he could have maybe also run deep into the tournament, or deeper than he would have been with that. So every point at the end does matter. You should finish at any cost and try to hold your composure, because mistakes can always happen on those maps, and sometimes even with a crash you can get second or maybe even first position. At this stage of the tournament it's a bit unlikely, but right now we see 2 mistakes in this sector, so this can happen. And it is Pako who wins the round ahead of Affi, and Otaaaq and Pako both having to respawn. So thank you guys for illustrating my point, because even if Affi has made would have made a mistake in the start, he would have still gotten second.
Yeah, would have still gotten second, and that was a very unfortunate. That was on the way down from the risky strat from Pako. Actually, he went a little bit too far off to the left-hand side, and thus was like, "Oh, I'm heading straight between the tire bundles. I'm forced to respawn." So, yeah, not exactly the best showing for now. But yeah, Pako did make up for it with a very, very solid opening round. So he still sits himself in second position at the present moment. And yeah, did manage to reach the finish line in round 2 within 10 seconds of the first player crossing the finish line. Oh, we did see Pako unfortunately being a little bit sluggish. Same for Pako as well. So it's going to be a straight fight between Affi and Otaaaq right now for first and second place respectively. And yeah, it's very much a 2-horse race right now for the big haul of points that comes with the victory in this round. And so far it is going to be Affi having a clear advantage, clear upper hand of a quarter of a second compared to Otaaaq. Both going for the risky strat, trying to finish the rotation, finish the job off with the top block. And Otaaaq has caught up quite significantly to Affi, but is it going to be enough to snipe him at the line? The answer is a big fat no, with a .714 versus a .839 for Otaaaq and Pako. Pako, 2, 1. He's not going to be scoring any points whatsoever, and just falls back down to equal third place with Otaaaq on 13 points.
Yeah, so that is very unfortunate for Pako not finishing round number 3 there, but maybe he can bounce back. I mean, he has won a round and gotten last in there, so a bit of a glass cannon build here from Pussy to Pako, and tries to maybe risk a bit too much in some of those rounds, but I mean, it worked out for him in one round, so it's still okay of a start for him. And let's go ahead into the next round. Everyone getting the start quite well. Otaaaq, maybe the only player dropping a bit behind by 0.8 of a second, and now it's between Pak and Pako, or Pako and Pako, as you could also say like that, because that
Pako
was
squared.
Yeah, that was Pak's old nickname, I think, back in even at in 2016, 2015, something along those lines. But definitely when he started in Canyon, and also now, no one going for the risky line. Affi with an insanely low jump, but clips it a little bit, so it concedes a lot of speed, and Pussy to Pako is going to win yet another round with a 0.619. Booyaka, booyaka. We already had that time on this map, and I pulled the joke and no one found it funny, so I'm gonna do it again and hope that someone in the chat writes XCD. Right, XCD,
That
guys.
was an R. That was an r/swoosh moment, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, but yeah, good on Pako for delivering very good on his promise. Show it on round number 1, as we're gonna be moving on to our next map, which is of course going to be Canyon. 26 for Affi, 24 for Pak, 23 for Pussy to Pako. So yeah, top 3 regroup within 3 points, and Otaaaq not that far off in the grand scheme of things, which does seem to suggest that the cards have been shuffled pretty nicely in terms of like outcomes of rounds, and there was not really any kind of clear trend to really pull apart.
Yeah, that is for sure, and it is only Otaaaq who has been falling behind. And what did we say, Geek? Otaaaq is the clear favorite of this match, and now he's on last. It's so fun. It's so fun how this all backfires. Also with me saying, yo, it's almost impossible. Only Coco did this comeback in one of those matches that we were watching, and then we have 3 finalists in the consolidation match. Dude, absolutely incredible stuff that is happening. This competition, and also last week's competition, they have just been delivering and delivering. And I mean, it's at this point, it's just clip farming, let's just say like that. So great to see this match, and it's being highly competitive. It feels like everybody's able to take it if they just are starting the match off very well. And on the flip side, if you have a bad start, it's hard to come back, but not impossible. And let's go into the first round. Pako with a great start. Stuft is not in this match, so we do not see a Stuft show here. Maybe Pako is on a good start.
Yeah, shouldn't have opened your mouth there, mate. That's unfortunate to have that happen, especially at the start of sector number 2 there for Pussy to Pako. So it will be Affi versus Pak for the lead. And just as I mentioned, one of the 2 players, the lead player, makes an unfortunate touch. You know what? I think I'm just gonna let you take the final sector. I give up.
What a messy start. I think I should just stop talking on this map. But right now, Pak is leading and is also not crashing into the outside corner there. So hopefully, Pak is making a huge mistake here and will not make the ending. Just doing the anti-jinx here, but dude, Pak, you had one job, not failing. I tried so hard, Pak. Dude, listen. Oh my god, dude, what is happening? Oh my god.
He came so far, and in the end, it didn't even matter for Pak at the end of that round.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's going to Trackmania Esport Clips. That cut print ship. There you go. Hi, guys. Anyway, moving on to round 2 now. Let's hope things are not getting as hairy as they were. Well, with the hairy round did come a bit of the close back up of the gap, because you do now see that we are only 6 points apart from first to last, with 3rd place joined 26 points apiece for Otaaaq and Pako. But we do see that, unfortunately for the Hungarian, Canyon is not really proving to be his cup of tea for now. Currently over a second down compared to the leader, that is Otaaaq at the moment. Currently still holding a very, very solid lead actually compared to Affi. I'm suggesting that there might be some blunders here and there for the man from Switzerland, former, of course, ITB and BDS player, former TMGL player, of course, who finished in 2nd place in the fall 2021 season, which was won by the Giga Chat himself, Thomas Pako, who was playing for M&M Gaming at that point, RIP. And right now it's going to be Otaaaq coming in with a very solid 10-pointer, second back-to-back 10-pointer, and a .461. I mean, this is pretty solid round pace overall. I mean, we've been pretty much deceived every time we were thinking, oh, he's on a great time, but then in the end, it was just a .4. But still, .4, it's still a great time. Still roughly within a quarter to half a second from the world record, which is still a .0.
I mean, still a good time, but I mean, we have seen Stuft driving a .05 here in the match before, and Pak driving .1s all over the place. So definitely definitely more possible on this map, but maybe in this round as Otaaaq and Pako, as well as Pak, getting a great start, and Affi right now giving us a very good overview of the playing field, but still very, still in close contention towards the others, and Otaaaq also pushing so much, going so close to the block there, to the pole, but does not come into contact with that, and Affi also tries his best, clipping there and losing a bit of time, but also gets around that corner a bit better due to that flick that he just acquired due to that, and it is Affi who is also not getting the best drift line over that corner, so I think he's out of that top 3 fight. Otaaaq, Pak, and Pako still fighting it out from the start block up until this outside dirt line here on checkpoint, on one of the last checkpoints that we have right now. Pako still leading. Otaaaq tries to push but has to oversteer and readjust a little bit. Pako is going to win this round, and look, this is a much better round here. 0.14. They are probably really watching the stream, right? Because now they're driving fast, and Otaaaq also with a 0.3 on second place. Pak not able to snipe it, and look at this, Pako, even though he did not finish a round, still very close to that first position.
Yeah, and the gaps, once again, really closing back up due to that shuffling of the order compared to what we had in the previous rounds. Just, once again, 6 points between first and last at the present moment. So it's still very much on to play for, whilst we're barely at the third of the way towards finalist status. Remember, we're playing until 120. We're at 42, 41, and 39 for Pako, with 36 for Pak, who's very much close to passing the third way marker of 40 points collected. As currently, we do see Pako having a really, really strong start. Currently sitting a 10th ahead of the absolute storm that is currently engulfing the track, battling for top 2 right now with Otaaaq, Pak, and Affi in close pursuit, and now they're absolutely engulfing Postito Pako right now. What a send from the top 3 fight right now, making it a 4-way fight for the lead. We do see Otaaaq storming back a little bit here compared to the rest of the field. We do see Pako once again trying to get back up the pecking order. Pako from Hungary versus Pako from the United Kingdom versus Affi from Switzerland. 3 different nationalities at the top 3 places. Of course, Otaaaq in hot pursuit still. It's going to be Affi getting a little bit too sideways. Pako versus Pak, first and second, and Pako once again resists and gets another 10-pointer on the board. Great race between these two, 27 milliseconds apart, and as a result of this, Pako shoots back up into the lead of the race.
Yeah, and round 2 winning time would have been last in this round, by the way, so absolute great round, and I think the match is slowly but surely picking up the pace. And just speaking about it, we go to Motegi, the odd one out in this map pack when it comes to just how the maps are themed, because this one is based off of a real-life Grand Prix map in this way. So it's just very cool to see this kind of sponsoring opportunity being used by Honda, and also huge shout out to them by sponsoring this cup. And of course, we already have had our first winner also for the VOD watchers. Affi, like the top 16 was joining in a raffle, and Affi won the raffle and won 2 tickets for the Monza Grand Prix that happens on the 1st of September. So congratulations to Affi, who also wanted to go there, and coincidentally is probably the player who lives closest to the actual Grand Prix.
Yeah, and that's actually good on him to have been able to win the tickets, because apparently he really wanted to go for that one. So there you go. Enjoy, Affi, as we do good. Started with lap 1 out of 4 here on Motegi, arguably one of the youngest tracks in the Japanese motorsport landscape. Broke ground in 1997 and is currently owned by Honda as part of their mobility resort line of circuits, which also is comprising Suzuka, as a matter of fact. In the meantime, through the start of lap number 1, sector 1 is done. It's going to be Pak leading Otaaaq and Pako in first, second, and third. And we do see Affi in P4 right now, heading into turns number 9 and 10. Nobody going for the Gran Turismo special cut into turn number 9. Affi with a very shallow entry to turn number 11. That's going to be compromising his exit speed quite dramatically, actually. And that is going to be demoting him down to P4 as we go through the hairpin the wrong way around. Otaaaq, great late apex with the hairpin there, allowing himself to move up to the lead of the race with a great low landing onto the backstretch now through the high-speed chicane. Right, left, right. It's going to be Pako in second place. Affi down to third. Actually up to third, with Pak having made an unfortunate landing at the backstretch, dropping down to P4, and look at the center of Pako from the final corner, barely grazes the tire bundle on the outside, and does get demoted down to third. Otaaaq wins with a .888, Affi in second, Pako in P3, and Pak down to last place.
So Otaaaq with 10 points here. Pako so close of just sniping Otaaaq in the end. You can just see how important that speed is in the end. That's why players want to push every millimeter possible on that turn and want to go for a very risky line. So this is what can happen there to you if you push a bit too much and decide to not release there. So Pako unfortunately getting demoted to 3rd position and will not go back into the lead, because now it's Otaaaq who's at 56 points leading the race, but it's still so close between all of those players. And look at that, also here in this round everybody gets a really good start. Otaaaq pushing a lot, gets a lot of speed out of that corner, but look who's ahead. Pussy to Pako, the wonder child from Hungary, is just trying to absolutely destroy his opponents in this round. And right now he's just doing that. He's 0.2 ahead and gets a really good drift as well. A low jump is important, but you don't want to touch the grass here too much, and also you do not want to over tilt your car, else you get a slow down. Pako does it really well. Pack with a no slide. This is something that you do not see from Attack World Champion usually, but can also happen to the best. And also Otaaaq has more speed. Is it enough? Nope, it is not. 28 thousandths, and Pako this time wins against Otaaaq and claims 1st position yet again.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hot one, especially with that slide at the exit of the final corner for Pako. But he managed to hold on for dear life, so that is good on him. He retakes the lead by a singular point ahead of Otaaaq and continues to pull away from the rest of the field. Now, for those of you who weren't there at the beginning of the stream, of course, you do see that there is an oval circling part of the track there. That oval used to actually host the Japanese round of the IndyCar series from 1998 up until 2011, with the track being struck, of course, by the Great Tohoku earthquake on March 2011. That rendered the structure too unsafe to be used for racing conditions, so it is only reverted to as a simple parking spot, which is a bit sad to see, but still it has some great racing history with, for instance, the first win for a female driver in IndyCar in the person of Danica Patrick back in 2008, as a matter of fact. Through this round we go. It's going to be a straight fight between Pack and Pako right now. Pako squared, battling it out and duking it out for the lead, but right now it's advantage to Pustito Pako in front of Pack by about a 1/10 of a second. Affi in 3rd place. Otaaaq quite far removed from that lead battle, as a matter of fact. Pack looking very, very solid, looking very racy onto the backstretch right now, heading through to the final sequence of corners right now. Pako looking a little bit racy, a little bit too wide there. Pack trying to go for the full corner cut there. He does pay off, as Pako was not able to retaliate effectively enough.
Wow.
And what a time for Pack, a .581 as well. What a lap he's put in. Pako 2nd, Affi 3rd, and Otaaaq in P4. Still, it will benefit Pako in the grand scheme of things, because it's the last place driver that did get the 10-pointer, so it will allow him to get on the nice score of 69, nice, and also get some extra points compared to Otaaaq.
Yeah, and it's only 11 points between 1st and 4th position, as you can see there. Otaaaq at 65 points, still on 2nd place, and Pako playing a really good map. I mean, that mistake in round 1 can happen, but round 2 and 3 looking really good for Pako Jr., as you could also say like that, you know, after Carl Jr. also calling himself like that. You know, Pako definitely on the way to become a world-class player in Trackmania and could really redeem himself winning against Pack, but it's still a long way to go, and let's see how this will develop, because Pack currently is in the lead. Affi with a good line as well, and look at Pussy to Pako trying to push as well. Very good jump there as well, doesn't land that early but still has good speed. It's 100th between the top 3, and then Otaaaq also not too far behind us. Pack gets another no side. Affi, Otaaaq and Pako fighting it out, and Pako getting a great ending again. Otaaaq on 2nd and Affi on 3rd. Pack again, 2nd no side on this map. Should not happen. Maybe should neo slide there. Is only getting 3 points.
It wasn't just a no slide. Yeah, it wasn't just a no slide. It was actually also a clip on the exit on the outer curb as well that really did him in. I mean, that might have been a no slide, sure, but really, once he got over the edge of that curb near turn number 13, 14, that was completely donezo. He could not have done anything else to really get any kind of momentum back together, any semblance of momentum back together, as we're going to be heading onto wet plastic. We're back into more conventional maps. The racetrack is now officially, I think, retired for the rest of the competition, or maybe one last lap, but that might be stretching it a little bit too much, as we're going to be heading onto wet plastic up next. 79 points for Pako in the lead, 71 for Otaaaq, 62 for Affi, and 61 for Pack, which means everybody has passed the halfway mark.
Yeah, it looked much closer here after round number 3 on this map, but you can see it can change everything within just one round, and now the point gap is 18 instead of 11, but it just needs one good map, and maybe wet plastic suits Affi and or Pak really well, and Otaaaq and Pako will concede some points. But every player is halfway through. I think we're gonna see a close fight for first, second, and or third position here regardless. And let's go. It's about the 2,000 juicy World Tour points, but of course also 1,200, if my memory serves me correct, for second position, which is a lot, and then 800 and 500 for third and fourth. If it's, I think that's it, right? That's correct, right?
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
Very nice. Okay, cool. But not so cool for Pako. I mean, was just talking about it. Pako with a mistake. Affi and Pak can come back, and the 10-pointer is open.
And the 10-pointer is definitely open, and even more open, even though it's kind of restricted to a 2-horse race now, courtesy of Pak touching on the inside of that long right-hander midway through the second sector. Onto sector 3 we go now from the perspective of Otaaaq, chasing down Affi, trying to find a little bit of an aperture, trying to find a little bit of a pace advantage, but right now Affi has got this round under lock and key right now. Just one final corner to go through, and the jump into the finish line, of course, for the Swiss driver, formerly of ITB, of course, 0.812 at the split, which was going to transfer into a 0.633 at the line. Yeah. Wow. Solid time being driven by Affi. Otaaaq will have to be content with second place. Pak in third, and Pako down in fourth place. So he has to be content with second place, Otaaaq. But courtesy of that fourth place finish from Pako, Otaaaq will be managing to bridge the gap back down a teensy tiny bit, down from 8 to 5 points.
Yeah, so we have two fights that are brewing up right now. It seems like even though Affi is also only 5 points away from Otaaaq, so we have to see how this map will develop. But Pako and Otaaaq and Affi and Pak fighting it out, but positions are subject to change, of course, after every round, because 10 points are just so advantageous for you. And since no player here dropped majorly behind and is only like at 40 points or something like that, this is still everyone's game, and everyone is still able to go into the lead just with 2 or 3 good rounds. Otaaaq tries his best, but had to readjust and then caught a nose slide, so he is not winning this round. So it is Pak versus Pako, because Affi also made a mistake. Pak wants to get those 10 points, also had a really good drift in that sector, but Pako tries to hold on for this dear life, and also has so much speed to work with, 33 thousandths of a second. So I think the last drift will come into play. Usually do not see that many overtakes in that sector, but Pako is just eating Pak alive here. 17 thousandths of a second. Pak with more speed, Pako with the more inside approach. It will be so close to the line, and Pak with a great ending wins the round. Pako on second, Affi and Otaaaq only with 4 and 3 points in this round. Very important for the last seeded player right now to win the round, to move the standings a bit closer together yet again. It is 13 points between first and last place.
Yeah, and also good times being driven by Pak. Of course, Pak driving a mid-0.6, and Pako with a high 0.6, which are still very, very strong when you take into account the fact that the record is still a 0.397, I think, from Tween, which hasn't budged since seeding. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have to check on that as we're going through this particular round now. Round 3 out of 4 through the second dip in the water. Try to avoid sliding out too much, and that is unfortunately the case for Affi, who clobbered the wall on the outside. A great double right-hander from Pako, moving up into the lead of the race, following along with Otaaaq right now, who's continuing to chase down Pak hard right now. The man who he actually gave a lot of trouble in the World Championship with the godlike snipe for 9 thousandths of a second back on edge to deny a map for Solary. But right now, it's going to be Pak promoted up into the lead after a sluggish entry into this third sector for Pusto Pako right now, promoting also Otaaaq up into second position. And right now, Otaaaq is not really looking to have any kind of word in for that battle for the lead. Pak is looking very much composed, cool, calm, and collected as ever with a 1:00.758 at the split, which is transforming into a full finish bonk. I was fearing this, and it happens at the worst time possible. He is taking the safe pin, but it transforms 10 points to 3 points of big fat -7. I even losing my words after what I've just witnessed there, but that is the big oof.
Yeah, that is very unnecessary from Pak there, doing this mistake, dropping from first to bare last, the bare minimum points in this round. So only 3 for him. I mean, it's still not far from being over, but still, this could put a dent into his momentum and into the match in general for him. But let's see if this affects him. I mean, this was a huge upswing from Pak if he had gotten 2 first positions in a row, but it wasn't meant to be here. But look at that start from Pak. Absolutely beautifully done. down, and he is in the lead right now, looking very strong, but also his opponents are chasing him down. Affi and Pako overtaking Pak in literally one turn, but Pak had a bit more exit speed out of it, but still it's 36 thousandths between the top 3 drivers, and also Otaaaq is in close proximity towards them. Pak with a great line. Affi and Pako didn't get the cleanest of transitions by the looks of it, but Pako just has a bit more speed. But this is all coming down to the last drift and to the water part that has been failed by Pak in the previous round. Pak has good speed. Will this be enough? It's to the line, and it will be Pako winning it, but only 500ths ahead of Otaaaq, who got third. Imagine losing with a 0.64. Wow.
Yeah, that is actually nuts to think about. And Pako will be the first driver to cross the 100-point threshold to go into triple digits. And that comes in as we switch over to the final map in this rotation in the grand final of the GameWard Cup, which is none other than Agility Dash 2 Electric Boogaloo. Quick score recap after 16 rounds in. It will be, of course, Pako leading with 104, 94 for Otaaaq in second place, 84 for Pak in third, and 83 for Affi sitting in fourth place.
Yeah, so a kind of 10 points column between the players, and then Affi is the odd one out. You know, it's like the IQ test. Spot the pattern, and then yeah, Affi is like at 83. You know, you should have got that. LTO IQ is at 10 or something like that. Yeah, who does not know those IQ tests? But here we go. So it's everyone's game, but gaps are quite set in stone for now. Pako on his way to reach finalists as the first player, but it's too early to say that because this map, Agility Dash 2, has been providing a lot of close rounds, and I think if a player gains momentum and just confidence on this map, you can also just win 2-3 rounds in a row. And here we go. So let's follow Affi, who's currently in the back of the field, also at the start and in points.
All right, here we go then from the perspective of the Swiss, Sébastien Appelter, of his real name, of course, currently sitting in P4 at the tail end of the train right now. A very orderly train, I might add, at the end of the first sector, heading through checkpoint number 3. And first mistake already with Otaaaq getting a very small pixel clip on the inside of the left-hander that leads this checkpoint number 3. So the Frenchman will be out of the running for the big points. Over a second down compared to the leading duo of Pak and Affi, first and second. Pako in close pursuit in third place at the moment. But remember, there's still one big third sector that is still coming in and could still be a good opportunity for the Hungarian to actually get a few further places off the board and get a few additional points for himself in the basket. But right now it's not really looking like the scenario is going to be likely to happen, as we do see an advantage of about a 10th of a second between Affi and Pak, who are locking horns for the battle for the lead of the race. Affi trying to emerge ahead. We do see Pak this time managing to sprint ahead by a nose just before the finish, and it will be a 24 millisecond margin between Pak and Affi. 0.978 versus a 103.002 for Affi. Pako in third and Otaaaq in P4, and Pako has been finding himself slowing down in that particular progression, moving up to 108, not quite past the 110 threshold just yet.
Yeah, not quite there yet, but he could definitely close it out on this map. But also Pak with good points on this previous rounds, coming closer to Otaaaq as well. And let's focus on this one and see who is pulling the trigger, and maybe Pak can go up into second place. Didn't have the particular best start into the match, but was somewhat still like in close proximity when it comes to points, but still very good to see that also after that mistake that we have seen on wet plastic, where he has miserably failed the ending and threw away a first position, and now he's behind. Otaaaq, Pako and Affi are trying to get those 10 points, but only one person can get them in this round. Otaaaq with great speed and a good line. Pak tapping the brake and will lose a bit of time, but still had a good alignment over that sector. But it will be between Pussy to Pako and Otaaaq for those 10 points. Would be so important for Pako to get them, but Otaaaq has a much better line. Pako had to oversteer, and I think Otaaaq is going to win this round. It will be a bit close, but still 14,000 is enough, and both had similar speed. So Otaaaq wins the round with a 102.918. Pako was on a great run, but was not getting the best exit out of the last grass sector.
Yeah, indeed, this is where he lost a lot of that time in that grass road block section there that we see crop up every so often now in competitive maps, where it is of course a roadblock, but with a lot looser surface, so you may best not be caught off guard when you actually encounter this for the first time. But Pako is still in with a shot of actually making it to finalist by just finishing in second place. He does need to get no lower than second place, otherwise Yeah, he would be sitting at the very best on 118 if he finished third, or 117 if he finished in P4 if the second place was out of reach. But right now, Pako is trying to prevent that scenario from happening. He does take a little bit of an alternative line through CP34, and we do see Affi clipping on the inside of the plastic after checkpoint number 4, so the Swiss man will be out of the running and promoting Pako up into third place. And look at this! Oh, that was an unfortunate line there for Pak, taking the bump on the inside and getting sent, ejected over to the other side of the road. And now Pako is guaranteed to have finalist status as long as he brings it home in second place right there. Otaaaq is absolutely untouchable here on this third round out of 4 on Agility Dash, the sequel. And it will be also a time of a .858.
Wow.
What a time for the 2023 world champion. Very rightfully acknowledged by the players. That is quite the feat to be able to produce that in match. Pako in second, Affi in Pak third and fourth, and Pako is just one round win away from becoming a major winner in the Trackmania World Tour.
Yeah, this will be a fairy tale for him after Otaaaq absolutely dominated the winner bracket final. Pussy to Pako plays the most important round of this entire weekend, because Otaaaq will be finalist regardless what happens if he finishes the round. So Pako can close it out. It's his one shot that he has alone, and let's see if he can use it to his advantage. So let's see, can Pako close it out, or will we see no winner into the next round? Otaaaq pushing a lot, but also Pak and also Affi in the mix. This is an absolute close round, approaching the last part of the map. Pussy to Pako right now in the lead by 1 car length. He can close it out, but bumping a bit, losing a bit of time. It also does not steer in that well. Will have a bit more speed because he can go with no braking signs over that sector, and I think he will not be able to make it, but it's still so close between them. Pussy to Pako is pushing it. Otaaaq in the lead, as well as Pak, and Pako will get denied. And of course, I want to say he has less skids there. The brain fog is still setting in, so that's why Pako is going for a wider approach to not oversteer the dirt sector. But still, it's 2 finalists now, Otaaaq versus Pako. We go to the next map though before we have that, so a bit of edging happening here.
Yeah, we're back onto Hinode, I think, as well. We're back onto the first map of the rotation. Yes, it is indeed Hinode, and very important is that Otaaaq denied, crucially, points for Pak. He's on 106 instead of 110, so right now it's double finalist uninterrupted for Otaaaq until he really gets cranked up.
Yeah, this is going to be the case here, and let's see who will take that small warm-up. 106 points for Pak, Affi at 100, so they're also not that far away. So a triple or quadruple finalist situation is in sight. And let's see, after this 10-second of warm-up, who is going to take it? Good luck, have fun to the players. Pussy to Pako on a second finalist attempt, and Otaaaq, of course, with heavy momentum going into this round as well. But this map has been providing content, and Pako, I think, won 2 rounds on this map and had 1 DNF, so a bit of a glass cannon. But let's see. Good luck, have fun to Otaaaq and Pako. Pak and Affi have to deny it, but only Affi is able to do so because Pak made a mistake.
Yeah, Pak, unfortunately, same deal as the opening round on the first rotation here on Hinode, and this time also Pako looking very, very slow on the uptake there midway through the first sector, so it's going to be all down on Affi to try and hold the fort and try to get Pako to give a little bit of breathing room to get another attempt in, but watch out for Otaaaq. He's looking very hungry and very racy, looking to go ahead of Affi for first place. We also do see a resurgent Pako right now in the midway through the second sector right now, heading into third position right now, 2/10 down on the leader. It won't be Otaaaq trying to go for a bit more of an aggressive line onto the grass banking, taking over the lead from Affi. It seems like everybody's going to be going for the risky strat. Yes, the top 3 go for the risky strat. Who's going to get executed perfectly? It's going to be Otaaaq coming away to the lead of the race. Pako trying to go for the snipe. Is it going to be enough? Yes, Pako emerges in the lead. What? It is your GameWard Cup by Honda winner for 40 milliseconds. 2,000 World Tour ranking points,
God.
and he springs up into second place in the World Tour ranking. What a progression over the course of the last few weeks from the Hungarian. He's might as well be at the top of the world, even though he might not be in the rankings, but my goodness, what a performance. And we're not done yet. There's still second and third place to be contended with, and right now third place, no one is reaching finalists just yet.
What an ending from Pako, just minimizing airtime perfectly, and he can call himself a major champion. Congratulations to Pussy to Pako after a great performance from Otaaaq, who has to hold his composure, decides to go for a DNF in this round because, you know, you're shaking. The mental work is really taxing in those kind of rounds, and then you're not winning it after being ahead just because Pako has a bit more speed in the ending, can be very draining. Pak will go up to 119 points, so he's not finalist just yet, and Affi up to 110. So we could even see 3 finalists coming into this last round on Hinode if Affi gets first and Pak just finishes. So this is what could happen, and let's see. Otaaaq, of course, being the big loser here, coming into this match as the favorite, absolutely dominating the winner bracket final. But of course, you still have to perform in the grand final as well. Here we go. Otaaaq still in finalists. You do not lose your attempt if you do not finish or finish on second, third, or whatever. But Pak and Affi slowly but surely coming closer.
Yeah, slowly but surely coming closer. And right now, it's all down to Affi to try and make this scenario happen with... as long as Affi denies the victory for Otaaaq, it will be good enough for a first triple finalist round for second place. But right now, it's not looking that good for the man from Switzerland after that roof hit landing that was more than catastrophic in that particular level of Trackmania anyway. And it's going to be Pak versus Otaaaq for the benefit of the round win and potential second place validated here for Otaaaq in this major. It could have been so much more. We said it was his match to lose in terms of the title, and he did indeed lose the title, but he can still salvage some very solid points here. 1,200 still for the taking here on the GameWard Cup, but it's not just yet as Pak emerges firmly in the lead and will take the 10-pointer home with a .619, and he will move on to finalist status himself. It's a double finalist at the very end of this map on the next round that's happening here on Hinode. Affi is on 114. It's win or bust for the Swiss now.
Yeah, win or bust. I mean, he should also be wary to get second place in this round to be in finalist in the next one, of course, which would be map number 2 again. So here we go. Otaaaq and Pak fighting it out. Right now, Pak is, however, in finalists, so Otaaaq has to keep that in mind. And he is the finalist who has been waiting so long to close it out. Maybe was a bit unlucky in some of those rounds, and that is also not the transition that Otaaaq wanted to see. And, well, Pak is leading by quite a bit already. It is 0.3 of a second. You can catch it up, but it will be a mammoth task in the end. You need a perfect end, and I think Pak is aware of that, but Otaaaq is not slowing down. Otaaaq wants that second place. Great line from Otaaaq. Otaaaq going for the risk as well. Pak going for the safe approach. Has not the best amount of speed. Otaaaq is coming in there. Otaaaq trying to snipe it. To the line we go! And it will be Pak taking home the second place, as I just got kicked to my desktop for no reason. I don't know what happened there, but Pak takes it, and Otaaaq and Affi fighting it out now.
Thank you, Windows. Very cool. But yeah, for a man like Otaaaq that is very much momentum-based and also very emotional sometimes, as we've been seeing in various competitions, like, for instance, the last few World Cups, 2022 and 2023, where he really broke into tears whenever there was an upset or there was a great result coming his way. I gotta feel that this is kind of like doing him in at this point, because we're heading back to Canyon, and Affi still has a realistic shot of actually denying Otaaaq on that first round of Canyon before making it into a double finalist for third place. So yeah, it's gonna be all down to Otaaaq to get to put the hammer down and try to kind of cool his head a little bit, because I feel like Hinode kind of brought out the worst of him, as he had not exactly the greatest of times out there.
Yeah, and also the momentum is really not going into his favor right now. Also, like, he wasn't able to pull away from his opponents compared to the winner bracket final, and now he has to battle out for third position. Still worth a lot, still 800 World Tour points, as well as 200 euro compared to the last position, which is 100 points and 100 euro and 500 World Tour points. But I think we're gonna go into a last decisive round here, because Otaaaq made a mistake and seems to drop like a fly in this match. And I mean, Affi's not finalist just yet, so this is a round that he just has to survive, even though he almost clipped the wall there and had to readjust, so that was very close.
Yeah, that was very close indeed for the Swiss man. Yeah, it's looking very much like it is going to be a showdown, and I do feel like with the momentum strongly, I feel like it's not that the momentum is with Affi per se, but it feels like more that the momentum has gone away from Otaaaq, and he's finding the going very, very tough right now in order to actually get some semblance of pace back going after a couple of upsetting rounds for him on Hinode. So right now it's going to be one final showdown to the line with a .507 for Affi. I mean, good happenings, or all things considered in terms of round space, but good luck to both. Affi, the great winner of the weekend in our books as well, with the 2 tickets to the Italian Grand Prix, now in with the chance of actually securing a podium spot in his first event in the 2024 World Tour season.
Yeah, still a very good result for Affi, of course. Because he has won the Monza tickets, but also 500 points is definitely a lot to go for, and he could even make it 800 if he wins this last round of this competition. Otaaaq versus Affi it is, France versus Switzerland, and they have been meeting so often in a lot of matches in the past, and right now Affi finds himself in the lead. He knows that the momentum is on his side, and Otaaaq is probably a bit demotivated to continue to play, but also in those kind of situations you just have to continue and need to fight back, and that is what Otaaaq is doing right now. He finds himself in the lead, 0.1 of a second he's ahead, but he still needs to clear the map without making a significant mistake, and currently this is looking good. The outside dirt turn can be tricky, as well as the transition nearby the ending, and also Affi with a beautiful outside dirt turn coming closer, looking really good, minimizes airtime accordingly. This will all come down to the last part of the map, but it seems like Otaaaq is having it, and Otaaaq eventually takes 3rd position, and the first finals of the match does not... Dude, why does it always go to my desktop? What is going on here?
I don't know.
Dude, what is happening? This was so weird. Yet again, I did not press anything, and now Otaaaq takes it. Interesting. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry for that, guys. It was a bit weird. Also with the ad timing and all of this, like, those are things that I do not have influence off of. I ran ads beforehand, and yeah, I don't know. It's just Twitch moment. It's just a Twitch moment, I guess.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I feel like in some ways Otaaaq will be glad that he finally got it done. But in his opinion, he thinks that he might have had it done about 4 or 5 rounds too late. He reckons he would have had a much better shot at the title. But of course, with ifs, we can make the world a bit different, as we say in French.